Namaskar, Jai Hind. Welcome back to your YouTube channel, Moto Guru. Myself Amit. I will bring a very informative video for you, and in this video, we are going to discuss the pros and cons of the new Himalayan BS6. So, most of the people they might be confused, like they want to buy the BS6 Himalayan, the new model, and they might be confused, like what are the basic advantages in this bike as compared to the old one. We will simply talk not comparatively with the old one, but I will tell you some pros and cons which I have overgone through in the last 2 to 3 months, and hopefully it will help you. So in my list, the first point goes the seating ergonomics. As you know, that seating ergonomics are the most important feature of a bike when you are a tourer, especially when you are a tourer. Now, one of the strongest point to the Himalayan, in my opinion, is the seating ergonomics, with a seat height of just like 800 and it's quite easy to swing over the leg. I am like 6 feet tall, and so it might look pretty easy, but it is actually quite good for the average Indian as well. And once you are seated, the seating triangle is perfect. The seating triangle is the posture which is made between with respect to the bike to the tourer. So the wide handlebar gives you good leverage, and it isn't too far for an inside. The foot pegs are neutral, so touring is in very comfortable zone in this motorcycle. And if you are one of those who will spend a lot of time off-road, well, the good news is that you are going to enjoy the Himalayan, because the standing up ergonomics is really good, and you can reach on the bar easily, and there is more than enough space to hold onto the fuel tank. So this was among my first priority, this point. And the second one is the torque motor. The torque motor, as you know that BS6 motor is now fuel injected, and it has lost some marginal power as compared to the old one, but it has gained really good refinement. Honestly, it feels like completely different engine as compared to the old one. The bike retains the same linear power delivery, and which is very important as well. There are still strong lows and mid-range torques that can be exploited easily on the road as well as off the road. And the gearbox isn't as notchy as before. The taller gear ratios that aids highways as well as off-road riding. Yeah. And the third point which comes in my list, that is go anywhere ability. Especially the tourers like me who want to go anywhere on a bike, they will look for this kind of parameter into the bike. The majority of the motorcycle guys love this Himalayan due to its versatility. This bike is really versatile, all thanks to this presence of large ground clearance and the long travel front suspension. I mean, the bike can do a lot more than just going to the office. And on the weekends, you can take it to the dirt as if you want to have some fun. And now with the switchable ABS, the fun has reached a really whole new level. And if the dirt tires you out, then you can also choose to go on the highways and relax and enjoy some breeze. And yeah, that's among my third point. And this bike is touring friendly. The Himalayan is one of the excellent touring machine with a fuel capacity of around 15 liters. Yeah, it results into a decent riding range. Plus, it also has an extremely comfortable ride setup. The suspension eats up most of the bad roads with ease. This motorcycle lets you cruise at like 100 km per hour all day long. So it is quite luggage friendly too. It gets a tail rack as a standard. You can see at the behind the tail rack, which is company fitted. Plus the metal holders around the tank are handy to mount some luggage as well. And in case you want to carry some more luggages, then you can also mount saddle and tank bags beside it. It's really tired if you want to do that. And the last, not the least point, that is the looks are desirable. The Himalayan always had a good range and good road presence. Sorry. And now with this fancier colors like the red and black, which I just checked out at the center, the the bike looks really more desirable, and things are like large wheels, long treble suspension, and commanding ride position that attracts people. So it's an appealing design. So if you like to drive the bikes which attracts the viewers, especially when you are on the highways, so this is the perfect combination for you. You can go with it. And along with these positives, I certainly noticed some of the negatives as well. The first problem which I found, that was lax in modern design. You see, now you are paying more than like 2 lakhs for the Himalayan, so Royal Enfield should have given at least things like LED headlamps or DRLs, or even LED turn indicators for this matter. In fact, motorcycles half the cost of Himalayan now offers Bluetooth connectivity, and we are expecting things like full TFT display like we see on the KTM, but we would have liked to see some modern touches in these motorcycles, which they failed. So this is something which they have to improve. They must improve, I guess, as a biker. The second thing which I found is that it needs to be a little bit lighter. There is one aspect of the Himalayan which we never liked, the weight, and now with the 2020 variant or 2021 variant, the weight has gone up by 5 kgs as compared to the old one. That's such a bummer. And I mean, you can still jump the motorcycle or slide it, but now it takes a bit more effort. Even with its minimum design approach, it is said that Royal Enfield couldn't make a lighter vehicle more than that. So I don't know why they did that. Why didn't they change something in the design that it could have been a little bit lighter? Like you see, the motor has a little bit lesser torque as compared to the older one, so it could have been a little bit lighter as well. And that can be my final verdict as well. If you are in the market for a good all-round motorcycle, you your search should end as the Himalayan. It checks all the right boxes. It's easy to ride, it's comfortable, can do long distances with ease, and when the road ends, the Himalayan can take you places where a normal motorcycle struggles to. So the only reason you should avoid this bike is if you want a feature-rich motorcycle, and I don't think that this is something very highly demanding in such kind of bike where you are paying around like 2 lakhs rupees. So the company should have also taken care of this as a rider perspective view. So these are my own perspectives which I have shared with you. I hope maybe some people they disagree with it, and some people may also differ in their perspectives. So I welcome you all to comment in my comment section. You should use this comment section, it is only for you. And if you are owning this motorcycle and you have traveled on this motorcycle like 10,000, 20,000 kilometers, you should share your views as well. It will help all the viewers. Although I didn't drive this bike too much, but these are certainly some of the parameters which I just overgone through the last 2 to 3 months from the users, as well as from the some of the resources, the online resources I've gone through, or can say like most of the tourers which they complain about. These are the certain things. Well, in this video, this was the only thing which I wanted to share with you. Hopefully you like this video, and if you like such kind of videos, you can also subscribe your channel Moto Guru, and I will be available for you in the next video with some more technical videos. Till then, enjoy, take care, ride safe. Jai Hind.